itch do you need me to help with? Right? We all have those problems. So, what's going on in your life? What's going on in your businesses? What issues are you having? And usually more production-based items. What's production-based items are you struggling with today? By the way, I've got some good stuff for you today. Those that didn't show up today are going to be wishing they would have. I see Oscar's in here. What's up, man? How you doing? Mr. Culture King for the month of September.
What's going on, Shawn? I'm doing great.
Awesome.
I uh I read your whole book. It was awesome.
Dude, you did. You read
Yes,
it.
sir. I
Wow. Thanks,
in
man.
3 sittings, and to be honest with you, I couldn't put it down. It was really interesting and
Wow.
really helpful. So great job. I applaud you for that.
Thank you, man. That is amazing. Well, dude, that is such a blessing to me. So thanks for saying that too. I'm really worried that people are going to be disappointed in it.
No, no, no,
I'm
no,
not a
no.
writer.
Yeah, no, no. It was a really good book, and there's nothing to be disappointed about. You
Hmm.
should be very proud of it.
Thanks, man. I
Uh-huh.
appreciate you. Thank you for saying that.
You're welcome.
Awesome. And I don't have any freebies right now because I almost gave everyone out at the conference the other day. So, but it is available if anyone wants to get a copy. It's on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles. It's on every major online bookstore available if someone wants it. It's even on Kindle now. I saw the Kindle version jumped in. One of these days, I'll take a little time to get in my little studio I'm in right now, and I'll start recording the Audible. We'll see how far I get with it. One of these days. That's going to take some time.
Nice.
But unless I can find somebody to record it for me. But most people say it's good when the person that wrote it records it, so we'll see. Thank you, dude. Appreciate you.
Yes, you're welcome.
Anyone have anything? If not, we're going to jump right into it today. I've got some good stuff for you. I'm going to jump into some business trackers, show you some business trackers, how you can track your totals. I'm going to jump into a little bit on what we touched on Monday for Huddle Call. I think that was some good stuff to be able to repeat that a little bit of it, not much. And then we're going to get into some major needed 2025 most important social media items we should be working on today in social media. The 2025 version, because everybody's got a new version, or because it changes like the wind blows. So you got to have a version. So I have the 2025 most important things we should be working on. We're going to talk algorithms. We're going to talk how things work. That's coming up right now. So anything? Going once, going twice. Sold. Okay. I'm going to talk a little bit about, I'm going to show you a business tracker real quick. Business trackers, and this is through Eisenhower Coaching and Consulting. Brian Eisenhower, highly suggest Brian and his coaching company. I've been a coach with him for 7 years now, I believe, pretty close to 7 years. And our company is also a coaching client. So is our sister company in Idaho, Homes of Idaho. Colby Lampman's a coaching client. So Brian Eisenhower highly suggest him. This is one that he created and shares out to his coaching clients. It's really easy. You only change the blue items. So I'll share a copy of this with you here shortly, but real easy to do. So, say I want to close 10 units this year. All I do is change it to 10 and bam, it calculates. What's my average GCI? What's my our average commission, average GCI? So we just basically change a lot of these items here. So average sales prices of 1 million. That's kind of a lot. Let's just say 400,000 and average commission 2.5%. 20% buyers, 20% sellers. So it's kind of breaking it down. So maybe I'm a 50-50 guy. I only need to change that one. This one automatically calculating. I don't need to worry about that one, but automatically change that one to 50%. So 50% buyer, 50% seller. And it's going to break it down. It's going to break it down to exactly how many listings I am needing to hold. So goal for the number of transactions you must close to make the goal is 10. Yep, gotta sell 10 because that's my goal. Breaking it down to 10% fallout rate, so that's one. Okay, so that means I need a total closing goal with the fallout rate is 11. It's if I'm only closing 10 deals this year. What percentage of your listings actually sell? So say 85% of them sell. Average days on the market 59, so you can change those too. And then it's going to tell me I must at least hold at all times one listing active at all times minimum to reach that goal. Let's change it up. Let's say I'm going to shoot for 40 closings this year. I always have to have 4 listings at all times. Okay. This breaks it down to buyer listing appointments monthly. I need to be shooting for about 2.9, so basically three listing appointments a month, three buyer appointments a month. Sorry, 3 listings a month. So I need to be shooting for that number. What I got to do, I got to elevate my number of contacts. So 44 leads, I'm going to need to be able to do that. And you see how that does? It's just such a neat thing. It shows me my potential volume, average sales price, my potential revenue, gross. Of course, we all have expenses to pay. I always cut it in half. You know, you're gonna pay taxes, you're gonna pay everything. So potential net of about 100 grand. If I'm closing 40 units, 100 grand a year, potential net. Just break in half because taxes, everything. You know, broker fees, team fees, all the different stuff, signage. Anyway, admin staff, all that's in there. So you're breaking it down lower and lower and lower and lower. Okay. Anyone like that? Would you like a copy of that? So here's the deal. I'm going to give you a copy of it, but I'm going to give it to you in Excel. Yeah. And I'll throw that in the chat right now, and you guys can all have a copy of it. It's a great tool. Love it. Use it though, and that way you understand exactly what your numbers should be, what you should be shooting for. Just got to have goals. And as we start talking, and that's in the chat right now, as we start, I may need to change that. Let's see. I did this last time. You guys were all like, I never saw it. Did you see it this time? Did it pop in there? Okay, good. So that's that. Great business tracker. Anyone have any questions in that? No questions at all? You guys are easy today. This last Monday, we talked about, I'm going to jump in here now. We talked about the different lead sources to help you reach that goal. I want to make sure I show this again because a lot of you weren't on here. This is something I created a couple of years ago. And when I put it in present mode, I actually can just hit the space bar and it just pops them up. Because most of them, people say, oh, all I have is open houses. I could do for sale by owners and expireds, but I don't like negativity. You got into real estate, I'm sorry. There's some negativity, unfortunately. Online leads, yep, I know I've got that. I can do door knocking. Some of these things that, I know I need to make phone calls. But really, when it comes down to it, there is a plethora of potential ways to reach out people, to reach more people. Events, going to events, shaking hands, having a handful of business cards, passing them out. What's funny is when you're passing out business cards, the goal is to say, here's my card. Do you ask me about the market? Ask me about the market. Ask me what's going on. Ask me what's happening. I'm going to show you how important that is here in a second. But your goal is when you go to these events, when you do these open houses, when you door knock, is to get them to ask you what's going on in the market. And believe me, you're the one that stresses yourself out thinking they're not going to ask you because they will. There's very rare when you go door knocking, open house, whatever you choose to do. Very rarely when you do, go door knock expireds and for sale by owners. If it expired last year and it never went on the market again, they're probably starting to think, okay, is now the right time. So, you door knock at the right time, you get that. But you're the one that plays this mind game with yourself, thinking that, oh, they hear it all the time. No, you hear it all the time because you're a realtor. You hear it all the time. You see it all the time because you're too many friends on Facebook with realtors. You have too many friends on Facebook that are realtors. You should have buyers and sellers out there, not so many Facebook friends that are realtors. They're there. If they're popping up on your page all the time, there's an algorithm there going on. We're going to talk about the algorithm here in a minute. There's an algorithm right there going on to where you're interacting with too many realtors on Facebook versus interacting with your SOI or others in business networking groups you're in or whatever it is. And so they start to see your stuff all the time. You've got to choose what you want to go after. What is it you want to get? What is it your plan is? You want to talk to realtors? You want to talk to buyers and sellers? You don't talk yourself into believing that these people are tired of hearing it. It's very rare you're going to run into that. They want to know what's going on. All right. So all these different activities of things you could be doing. Now, out of all these, you see there's the online leads, there's digital direct mail marketing, there's digital marketing, there's definitely digital marketing. We have instant messenger, we have social media marketing, and how in 2025 are people doing so well in social media marketing? It is a relationship-based business, but we have all these different ones. And some of these are more prominent than others. One thing I don't see in here, I don't know why I don't, well, video marketing's in there, is YouTube. It's a big venue. There's people that are doing really well on YouTube. It's just like, you could just like TikTok, it's just like Instagram where you have reels. And doing the more reels you do, you should be adding that to your YouTube channel as well. There's so much that you could be doing within there. All right, so I'm gonna do this one real quick, and we're just gonna jump over to Facebook real quick. I want to show you how when the market changes and the market shifts and different things start to happen, and I'm going to show you my personal page here. When different things start to happen, it's your obligation to make sure you get that content out there. I've seen some of you doing a great job of getting social. Can you just do one post a day? You can't. Can you do one post a week? No. I'm sorry, you can't. As a realtor, you need to be minimum daily, if not a couple times a day. Now, just understand the way the algorithm works is it connects you to your likes. It does. There's a serious thing there that connects them to your likes. So if you understand how these things mirror each other, look at each other, they're monitoring each other through cookies and all the different things that are going on. So the way the algorithm's working is what's going to pop up on my news feed for different is people that look at my stuff and people that I look at their stuff. But this right here, this is a sponsored ad, right? And it's popping up about AI. I must talk or look up AI quite often. And I start seeing other stuff popping up, realtors. Okay, what is this? Why is this popping up? Well, because I searched the other day for a roofer. So it's popping up. I did not get on Facebook and search for a roofer. Okay. But it's popping up. We have so many different things. Obviously, what's this? It has something to do with this. Oh, you know what? I downloaded an app this morning I'm going to talk to you about. So Facebook algorithm works on what you interact with, what you look at quite often is what's going to pop up. Real estate, Tennessee homestead. It wants me to follow it. Why? Because I'm a realtor. So I look up a lot of real estate stuff. So that pops up. You get a lot of news sources and different things like that. Obviously, with all the Charlie Kirk stuff going on, obviously I've been looking at that quite often. So different things popping up on that. But it's just continuous. Now, these people are looking at my stuff too, right? That's a sports thing. I've been watching a lot of sports lately. So there you go. There's more content creator stuff. You really think there's a gorilla walking next to her? Probably not. There's so much, and I was on AI all the time a ton this morning, a ton. So I'm getting a lot of AI stuff. Here's another AI. So it is a huge, huge thing. Okay. So just know that there's always going to be the interaction of what you choose to interact with on social media. I have not been on Bed Bath and Beyond, but I was looking at couches, outdoor furniture. So there you go. And so that's the things that are going to pop up more likely for me. So as you can see, I got tagged by Lucio, closed a deal up in Idaho or up in McCall. Got a few people. Okay, so I posted this video right here yesterday about pumpkins and all this stuff. Why? Because I want to interact with people. I want people to like it, love it, and potentially share it. But I got a few likes, got a bunch of people likes, but not as many comments. But I got some comments. But what about this one? This one was real estate. 3 comments, 1 share, and I don't know how many people liked it. Now, the video was goofy, and that's okay. Be real, be goofy. The video was goofy, and it was about the rates. How many posted about the rates this week? If you didn't, why not? Isn't that part of your job is posting about the rates? I talked to a lender this morning, a very prominent lender about this, and I said, "Why am I posting about the rates? You should be posting about the rates. You're a lender." But I'm posting about the rates and how it's ticking down and looking good. And actually, it went down lower than this yesterday. I think it was down close to 5.9, if I remember seeing. I haven't looked at it yet today, but I'm in there all the time. But that's huge. Now, guess what? That actually brought, I'm going to click over here, one conversation from this gentleman, which is someone I bought a car from a couple years ago. So he owns a car dealership. He's the owner of it. It's a small car dealership. And when he saw this post, he sent me a message right away. Hey, Shawn, do you think it'd be a good time for me to refinance right now? Right? So there's one. Jason Usher, a great commercial lender, reached out to me after seeing this video and said, Hey, Shawn, can I get into one of your meetings? I'd like to come in and talk about commercial lending. Excellent. Nikki Cardoza reached out to me, not related to me, but really close friends of ours. Um, Caleb reached out to me. Justin Snow reached out to me. John Bualda reached out to me. Nikki reached out to me. Who else? Had conversation with Clint. But anyway, I think that was about it. So that was just off of that one post. Those people messaged me. That's what we're talking about. Your job is to get the content out there and watch what happens. Now, just know not everyone's going to bring that. It all depends on how that your type of content of post that you get out there. Three different algorithm factors. The relevance. The relevance. Okay, how relevant is your content? Well, this is pretty relevant. There's a lot of people on the fence. That is when I'm watching the interest rate. To me, been the hot topic for 2 years. So why not post on it? I don't know if you guys have been watching, but I post almost once a week about the rates. Especially if it goes green. If it doesn't, and it goes crazy red, I'm not posting it. Just know I skipped that week. But so there's been several I skipped, but I'm looking at it every week, typically early in the week and late in the week, usually twice a week. And that's relevant information that people want to know about. So your relevance is huge. Okay, it increases your authority when you consistently post on some topics. And this is a coaching company that I got this information from that to train on this today. I'm not going to say the coaching company's name, but I'm constantly feeding my brain to feed you. All right, so the relevance is huge. Your interest, the interest that you're trying to get out there. Suggest your content to users interested in the topic you're posting about, suggesting it. What are you putting in there that's catching the catch? What are they interested in? And the connection. Okay, it shows your content to people who interact with you often, and that's how the algorithms work. They get in there and they consistently get in there and they're looking for content. They're looking for things. The algorithm is sitting there searching for what your interests are and what someone else's interests are, and they're connecting you together. Now, I've showed you guys and taught you how you can actually get in there and almost force an interaction using what we call the 10-10-5. If you're in there every day and you're liking 10 people, liking 10, you're commenting on 10, and you're sharing 5 people or direct messaging 5 people each and every day, you're kind of forcing that algorithm to start to work. Now, I believe that social media started figuring a lot of that out. But it still works really well to get that communication going, because what happens is they look at your stuff because you liked something they like or something they posted, and then they look at your stuff and they might click on your stuff. Next thing you know, you guys became married and you're friends again. Okay. So you got to make sure you know what your authority topic is that you're going to do for this week. Okay. Are they picking up what you're putting down? Is the content you're putting out there, the video you're putting out there, is it something that's organic? Is it something that's interactive? You want to make sure that they're interacting with what you have. So they talk about content funnels and different things you can do. Now, I went in here and I posted just for fun. Here's my story. This, all right? Now, this is an important thing. It gets people to interact with you. Nay or yay? Is it something that people can actually get in there and click on that? Is it something that you're getting them to interact by doing some sort of poll? It doesn't matter if they interact or not. It doesn't matter if they do yes or no or whatever, but look what I got. 50 people viewed it. And I just did that a little while ago. So or 5 hours ago, just this morning. And so 50 people have viewed it so far. Whether they interacted with it or not, I don't care. I just want to get the people to view it to see it and see the importance of it. So that's a big deal. A lot of people do that, and people bring in big numbers of followers by doing a lot of polls. How about your AI content? I want to show you something that I actually got on this morning. And now I just did one. I've had it downloaded for a long time, but I hadn't actually used it. And so, you know how if you don't use it in a while, what happens? It ends up not, you end up not, it ends up going like unloading. You got to reload it, re-download it. Sorry. Got to re-download it if it doesn't do that. So, second. Okay, there we go. All right, so now I'm going to share this screen so you guys can see my cell phone. Watch this. This is a really cool app I think you'll all get a kick out of. There we go. Why can't you? Okay, give me 1 second. Now give me one moment. I need to make myself, allow myself to jump in here. And once I get in here, I can be the host. This app, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, that is really cool. Okay, there we go. Share my screen. Start broadcasting. Now watch this. Can you see the screen? Not yet. Hold on, here we go. Now let me do it. Okay, there we go. Now you can see it. Okay, so this app right here is called Captions. See it there on the bottom? Captions. Now, it's a pretty cool app because what it does is there's all kinds of stuff you can do. You can actually read off a teleprompter, and the AI will look at your eyes and it'll make it look like you're looking at the camera instead of looking at a teleprompter. But what I did was I did this mirroring thing, and I just clicked it in here and said, "Hey, I want it to be about I can't even remember what it was. I want it to be about real estate. I want it to be about the Central Valley, California, and ready, go." And it created this video. Maybe. Boy, it's technology's not being fun with me today. It's not starting. Huh. I guess it's not going to work for me. Sorry, guys. This is not fun when it's not going to play. Well, shoot. It was so fun to watch. I planned the whole thing out to show you today, and it's not playing. All right, well, forget that app. Just kidding. Great app. It worked really good earlier. It's just not playing for some reason. Hmm.
What if you export it?
I could try it, see if it'll let me. It wants me to pay for it because I haven't paid for it yet. See if it'll do it now. Nope. So I haven't paid for it yet, but there's the prices. $11.99, and it'll do all this really cool stuff where it'll record the video. Well, I don't know. It's not doing. Let me record the video. Hmm. Well, that's not fun. One more time. But this, I'm going to close it and reopen it. Everything works when you like close it and reopen it, right? So I did that picture first. Nope, it's not going to work. That's too bad. So basically what the way it did is the AI grabbed this app, this picture I took, it actually put the words in it and actually put everything to it, created a real nice little reel that I can easily just upload, but I do have to pay for it to do it. So I just started playing around with it to see what it would do and how it would work. And it worked really well this morning. I don't know why it's not letting me play it now. It was really fun to watch. But what I didn't like about it is it messed up my lips a little bit and it made it not look like my normal lips. So I would redo the picture and redo because it has you do all these different facial features, and then it takes those facial features and starts to talk for you. So if you're afraid to talk, and you're afraid to do this, guys, use some sort of software like this because it's a pretty cool software. And again, it's called Captions and it's highly recommended by several coaching companies. And, but anyway, so that's the one that I came up with today that I thought you guys might like. But it's not going to play for you. So I have to do it on another day, unfortunately. All right, well, that's that. So different AI tools will do different things for you if you're nervous to do your own social media posting. I don't want you to be, I want you to feel like you can post, you can do the things you need to do. You can use these tools to help you do more. Let me shut this down now. Got to make myself the host again. Okay. All right. Okay. So make sure you're getting crazy social each and every day. Make sure you're getting in there and using the tools you need to use. So one is you got to learn to beat the algorithm by connecting to different people, interacting with different people, and provide relevant information. Um, Now remember that you've got to find a niche. I was speaking to an agent yesterday that I met, and I was helping him through a few different issues he's going on in his business. And so I was coaching him up on it. And I said, okay, so what are you good at? Well, he used to be a coach. And when he was a coach, he coached college football. And I explained this really good, prominent real estate agent that I got a chance to meet, shake hands with, and his name was Jason. And Jason's primary lead source was the NFL. Somehow he got in with the right people and all these different, whenever someone was moving, a new football player wanted to buy a new house or anything like that, they'd call Jason. And what Jason would do is he'd go around and pick up the football player with an agent in the area. He's not a broker in every state, with an agent in the area or other countries in a limo, pick him up from the airport, take him out, show a few houses, and then hand him off to that agent, and he receives the referral fee for the agent completing the transaction. That's a niche. It's a niche thing that he focuses on. So I talked to this coaching client yesterday and I said, so, you have the ability to do something like that because you have a niche of the community that you were part of. Doesn't matter what state they're in. He worked as defensive coordinators, different coordinators, different football teams for colleges across the entire East Coast. And he's worked on many of them. So he knows people at all these different colleges. Safe to say he has an SOI there that needs to be tapped into that we don't have, or maybe you do, but most of us don't have that. That's a niche. What is your niche? What are you focusing on? How can you get hyper local? And what is hyper local? Well, it's like I get hyper local into specific neighborhoods. With social media, you can create different pages for specific neighborhoods and then start finding people that live in those neighborhoods and invite them to that community. From sending out flyers with QR codes to getting people into that community page, that you're actually, providing the content for that community. I've got several of these that I do. I do it for Spurwing, although I haven't worked that one in a while. I need to get back in there. In California, I did it for Paseo del Lago, although that one I haven't worked on in a bit either because I'm busy coaching people on how to do it. But if I was to get back into the full sales force, I'd be hitting those really hard, constantly putting content in those. Basically, they're a form of farms, but it's hyper local. It's hyper local to that small niche community and small local audience of people that you want to focus on. And using social media as a tool to be able to get those people, because it's safe to say almost everyone in the world is on some sort of social media page. Doesn't matter the age anymore, guys. You can be 80, 90 years old. There's some people still on social media. Now, I will say my mom is one of the very few that is not on social media, but she kind of lives vicariously through my aunt who is and my dad who is, but she's not. There's very few people that are not on social media. So you can get in there, get into these communities, create community pages, create different hyper local niche audiences for you. All right. All right, so leveraging the AI. How do you leverage the AI? So what I just showed you was an AI tool, although it was failing for me. It's an AI tool that you can get in there, and now you can get on some sort of AI like ChatGPT or Whoosy.ai, then you can create, you can use whatever hyper local or hyper niche that you're focusing on. Have ChatGPT or one of those Whoosy.ai actually write it for you, and then using a software like Caption, you can read off a teleprompter basically, and the AI will look at your eyes and make your eyes look at the camera. But you're reading off a teleprompter, so you didn't have to come up with the content. The AI came up with the content for you, and you're just now reading it, and now using another AI tool to actually make it focus on your eyes so it looks like you're looking at the camera all the time versus looking all over the place. As you see, I'm looking at screens because I have multiple screens, but my camera is up here. So if I was using that AI tool, my eyes would constantly be focusing on the camera, but I could be reading off a teleprompter over here, and it's going to make my eyes look at the camera. So that software will do that. And there's several softwares like that, and it'll actually put the whole video together within seconds. That video I made, all I did was take a picture of myself, typed out a quick little thing to, because it is an AI tool, typed out a quick little thing that I'd like it to focus on. It quickly put it all into a video, recorded it, and it has all kinds of flashy stuff going on the video. I wish I could have got it to play for you right now. It's probably on our internet here. But anyway, couldn't get it to play. It'll do that for you. Now I could have just, now that AI, I just typed it in. It wasn't using ChatGPT to have a teleprompter or anything like that, or a page that I'm reading off of underneath the camera. No, but there's, you can do all of it using those AI tools to enhance what you're already trying to do. Utilizing video. Oh my goodness. Embrace video, guys. The content that you're able to get out there each and every day. And again, some of you have been doing a great job at this, by the way. I applaud you on it. Good job on it. Don't stop. Just because you didn't sell a property off it, remember this is a long-term game. You know, it's more of a marathon, and it's the person that can stick in the marathon will be the one to win the marathon in the end. Don't quit. Keep it going each and every day. Do something new, provide new content, but you don't have to come up with it. You can use ChatGPT, Whoosy.ai, any of those to come up with the content to help you, and then just get it out there. Get that content out there. So anyway, so utilizing video, focus on creating engaging videos that simulate working with your brand. Remember that the algorithm is going to connect you with the people that are looking themselves at houses. It's going to connect you. You know, and remember, don't just use Facebook, use Instagram, use TikTok, use all these different ones. Use YouTube. It's very important. YouTube's a great venue to use, and a lot of people keep putting it aside. But remember, Google owns YouTube. So Google's going to allow YouTube to get a leg up, typically. Okay. So don't forget YouTube. It's an important one to focus on. All right, so AI marketing. Anyway, there's so much you can be doing with all that. Really need you to focus on that. Last but not least, I'm going to talk about some important lead sources that we didn't get into earlier that I want to make sure that I don't that you don't forget about. One is Google Local Service ads. Google Local Service that allows you to get hyper local in your areas. You get to choose the areas you want to go. You can pay for it. That's Google Local Service ads. You're paying for ads. Or you can pay really little. You don't have to pay much. You can literally pay a couple bucks a month, although you're not going to get bumped up to the top. But going through that process of the background check and all the things, it's worth it for your business to do that. Definitely Google Local Service is one of the big ones for 2025 that most top agents are on. I would say almost 100% of top agents have a Google Local Service already going. They may not all be paying for it, like some of us are paying quite a bit of money, but it's definitely something that will help give you a bigger reach of an audience. Referral sites, we talked about that on Monday. There's all these different referral sites out there. Just Google them. You know, they take a big chunk of money, but remember that each one of those that you get, you're going to get it back because you're going to get to sell them something else in the future. Open houses have been a huge one for 2025. Why? Because in 2020, 15, 16, 17, 18, people stopped doing open houses. They were doing some, but they were very rare. 2019, they started ramping up. 2020 ramped up. 2021, 2022, 2023 started ramping up. 2025 was a big year for open houses. A lot more people coming in the doors. Now, what do you think is going to happen if the interest rate goes down? Which it's been going down. More buyers are going to come out and start looking at houses. And believe me, they get online, they look at Zillow, and they look at Realtor.com, all these different sites, and they look for ones that have open houses. And they want to visit them this weekend. They don't have agents yet. Some of them do, some of them don't. Remember to ask the question when they come in. You're required to do this, okay? This is your coach now. I'm requiring you to do this. Ask them who their agent is because I need to document them down. You're going to find out a lot of those people just met them on Zillow and they don't know who their agent is because they don't have an agent. They haven't signed anything with them. They don't have an agent. So stop not asking who their agent is. Ask them who their agent is, and you're going to find out they don't have an agent. Some of them will, but most of them won't. Online reviews, positive reviews on Google, Zillow, Yelp, all these different pages out there is so important. That builds your online presence. These are things that are going to build your online presence organically by people leaving you reviews. Now, soliciting reviews, Yelp is huge on that. They'll block you real quick. I actually don't use Yelp anymore. I used to, and once they kept blocking me, I decided not to use them anymore. So that's a big lead source is Google, Zillow, Yelp, all these different lead sources out there that you can get reviews on. HomeLight, like oh my goodness, you can get reviews on all these places. Listing inquiries. Actively promoting your listing to generate inquiries. If you don't have a listing, go get a listing from a friend and use theirs and ask them if you could promote it and then promote it. Promoting listings is huge. You're going to learn that people are going to be like, oh, can I get the address? So don't put the address in and watch. People are going to say, what's the address? Because they're curious. Okay, great. Now send them a message. Get to know them. All right. Email asks. Okay, this is including clear calls to action in your marketing emails to encourage your contacts to take the next step. A call to action is something to get them to click on it to get more information. When you're sending emails out to people, if you're just sending them out to a blanket 300 people and you're lucky to get one or two, is that a bad deal? Nope, you got one or two. But if you have a call to action, more people will click on it and ask for more information. Now they've registered. Now you have their permission to call them. Okay. How about home value ads? We talked about that. That is the what we like to call the annual property analysis. It's a huge thing. It works really well. It's great for door knocking, open houses, everything. You're offering up a service. Your SOI is huge on SOI. So those are the top things. I gave you the top things to work on social media for 2025. I got you the top things to work on for lead sources for 2025. I gave you a ton of content today. Now, make sure that you're segregating your calendar in a very important way for time blocking, where you're focusing on these lead measures in the morning, and in the afternoon, you're focusing on the lag. Here's something that I want to leave you with. When you're making your outbound lead generation, remember the word I just said, outbound. So say you send out a bunch of text messages to people or emails or phone calls, and now your phone call's ringing. Do you answer it? I don't. And I don't suggest it. There's a time to do the reactive calls. There's a time to call them back. There's a time to get back in touch with them after you're done with your outbound lead generation. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself not hitting your numbers. It's very important to hit your numbers. If I say I'm going to call or talk to 20 people today, talk to 20 people. Or I'm going to do 20 phone calls a day. Make your 20 phone calls. Does that mean when they're calling you back, if you're saying I'm going to talk to 20 people and they call you back, you might answer that call because I need to talk to 20. If I'm going to make 20 calls, I need to hit those 20 and then I'll call them back afterwards. That might be my next hour of lead generation follow-up. So make sure you're hitting your numbers, guys. Hit those numbers. Don't let a day fail that you don't hit the numbers. All right. Anything else for the good of the order? All right. Content-based coaching. You got this. You got what you need. You got the secret sauce. Go get it, guys. Won't come
Hey,
to you.
hey, Shawn,
Yeah.
you had mentioned earlier the gentleman that reached out to you on social media. He was a commercial lender. What was his name again?
Oh, Jason Usher. And we're going to try to get him into the next legacy real estate meeting, possibly to come in as a guest.
Is he in California or in Tennessee?
He is. He actually works out of the Tulare Valley. What's it called? Valley First. The
Valley Strong?
Valley Strong. He works out of Valley Strong, I believe, the Tulare branch.
All right, great.
Usher. He's very well known in the real estate community. A lot of people know him. He goes to a lot of realtor events and different things like that.
That's great. I was gonna say that list you posted up earlier of different things you can do to lead generate.
Hmm.
To be honest with you, wearing my uniform has helped.
Wearing your uniform is what?
Has helped. Like wearing a legacy shirt,
Oh yeah.
people notice the shirt,
I
and
love how you called it a uniform. That's so good. Now, the first thing when I joined my very first team was a Ken Blaine real estate team. The very first thing he told me is buy a badge, name badge.
yeah.
And then he said, go walk around Costco, watch what happens.
Hmm.
Watch people's eyes. And people's eyes go to that badge. They're
Yep.
curious who you are, what you do. And you see that in a lot of realtors these days have gone back to that, where they'll get back to doing that. And it works really well.
It does.
Well,
It does. Back when I was had my 9 to 5, I would as soon as I clocked out, I'd take that uniform on and throw on a legacy shirt.
there you go. Yeah. And then
So,
walk around somewhere, do your lead generation. Oh man, watch what happens. It's fun.
yes, sir.
That's awesome. So cool. I love it. Thanks for the feedback.
No problem. Thank you.
All right, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great week. Let me know if you need anything.
Okay, appreciate it. You too.